tonight. Thank you for joining us. You're our first audience for Antigone, and it's great to have you here because with this immersive performance, we're going to be hopefully full up with all of these chairs, and this will give the actors and the tech an opportunity to feel what that's going to feel like to have the citizens of Thebes be part of the show. So this has been a fantastic year, fantastic term. It's such a pleasure to work with these students. They're so talented and so committed. And a couple of safety notes before we start. Exits are clearly marked throughout the building. In the event of any kind of a problem, look for tech students will have flashlights and they'll be able to guide you to the nearest exit. If you have a cell phone, if you wouldn't mind silencing it and stashing it, that would be great. And we will be using haze in the performance, so if you see haze, don't worry, it's not smoke, it's part of the show. So I'm really thrilled, I'm happy to welcome you, and I'm just going to say, without any further ado, I give you Antigone.
Antigone. We come out of the dark. Oh, it's me. Oh, one and only sister, whose blood intersects with my own in too many ways. Ever since we were born from the evils of Oedipus, what bitterness, pain, disgust, disgrace, or moral shock have we been spared? And now this edict. You've heard the edict. Or are you unaware of the evils coming on us?
I've heard no news at all, neither sweet nor bitter. That our two brothers lie dead by one another's hands, and the Argive army gone from this city is all I know.
That's what I thought. That's why I called you out here.
What's the matter? You have your thunder look.
Creon is resolved to honor one of our brothers with burial and the other not. Antigone is laid in the ground in accordance with justice and law. Polynices is to lie unwept, unmarried, sweet, sorry meat for the little lusts of the birds. Good. Creon draws our attention to this, yours and my attention. Whoever transgresses it gets death. So what do you say? Will you show what you're made of?
What could I say? What could I show? What could I do that would make any difference?
If you join me, if you join my action.
At what risk? Where is your mind?
Help me. Help me lift the corpse.
You mean bury him, when it's forbidden.
Sweet sister, my dead are mine and yours as well as mine. Do what you like, but I will not betray him.
Creon says the act is unlawful.
Antigone says it's not Creon's business.
Oh, sister, don't cross this line. Whoever we are, think, sister. Father's daughter, daughter's brother, sister's mother, mother's son, his mother and his wife were one. Our family is doubled, tripled, degraded, and dirty in every direction. He shattered his own eyeballs so as not to see it. And now, this. Our two brothers, slain by each other's hands. So that's it. We two are alone. Moreover, we're girls. Girls cannot force their way against men. I'm sure the dead will forgive me if I obey those in power.
What is meaning? I wouldn't take your help, no, if you asked me. Yet I will bury him. And this is great to me, though I die for it. We'll lie together in the grave together one day. He and I, side by side, for death is long. Death is very long. You go on worrying about the gods of life.
I must worry. I'm powerless.
Good excuse. I'm off. A brother needs burying.
I fear for you. Keep this secret.
Oh, no, proclaim it to all, I insist.
Your heart's so hot, oh sister.
The dead are cold, they'll welcome me.
You are someone in love with the impossible.
And when my strength is gone, I'll stop.
This is utterly wrong.
Don't say that, or I'll have to hate you. He will hate you too. Let me go. I'll not suffer anything so grievous as to rob me of a noble death.
Go then. But no, although you go without your mind, you go as one beloved. Antigone.
The glories of the world come sharking in all red and gold.
We won the war.
Salvation struts the streets of seven-gated Thebes.
The man from Argus fled.
The one who swung above our land on snow-white screens.
The one who overweaved our walls.
Polynices. 7 spears in his mouth instead of teeth.
That one fled before filling his cheeks with blood.
Before any fire, the noise of war was stretched along his back.
The boaster fled.
Zeus hates a boaster.
Saw an ocean of them coming at us, raised his hand.
They hit the ground.
They were the men from Argus.
War made them all insane.
7 gates,
And in each gate a man.
and in each man death.
At the 7th gate, 2 brothers grew into each other's hearts as pain.
Now, victory is ours. Let there be forgetting.
Let Thebes shake with joy. Citizens of Thebes, follow us.
Here comes Creon, throwing his new policies into place.
What new policies, I wonder, and why has he called us here so formally?
Gentlemen, first let me say, our city is safe again today. Although a violent storm passed through, the gods have set us upright. Now, as for you yourselves, I've sent for you especially, because of your traditional support for Laius, his throne and power, your support for Oedipus after he restored the city, your support for Oedipus' sons after Oedipus died. You stood by them and gave them solid counsel. Well, now they are both dead. They fought each other hand to hand, a single day, a double doom, an unholy outcome. I am the throne and power now, as I was next of kin. Impossible to know the character, mentality, or judgment of a man until you see him manage law and government. It is my view, to steer a city straight, you need solid advisors, and cannot be afraid to say what you think. That is my view, as I say, and always has been. And here's another thing, and this is important. If a man puts family or friends above the fatherland, I count him absolutely good for nothing. Now, as for me, let Zeus, who sees all things, take note of this. To watch ruin advancing upon my citizens and hold my tongue, I could not. To call a man my friend if he were hostile to the land, I could not. That's my philosophy. Those are my laws. Here's my edict concerning Oedipus' sons. For Eteocles, patriot, champion, hero to our land, for him our decree is he will have burial with every kind of holy honor owed to the best of the dead below. For his brother, Polynices, who came back from exile, meaning us to burn us to the ground, to eat our blood, to throw us into slavery. For him our decree is he will have no grave. No one will bury him, no one will mourn him, no one will utter a cry. Let the birds peck and the dogs chew and the eye to be outraged at. Evildoers have no status in my city. This is a place for law-abiding men. Anyone loyal, alive or dead, will have honor from me. Thank you.
If that's what you want to do, Creon, do it.
You have the power,
You can use the law as you like,
both for the dead.
and all of us who are living.
But now it's up to you to keep watch of all this.
Oh, can't you ask the younger man?
I don't mean the grave. I have people doing that already.
So what are your orders?
Be careful not to collaborate with anyone disloyal to me.
Who could be so rash?
So suicidal.
Exactly. But there is such thing as blind hope, not to mention bribery. So,
King, here I am, and I admit, I'm not out of breath. I cannot say I hurried. In fact, I stopped many times along a long trip on a slow road until finally I decided I'd come and tell you what I have to tell. How bad can it be?
What's the news?
First, let me say first, I didn't do it. I don't know who did it. I shouldn't pay the price for this.
Stop your babbling and give me the news.
It's terrible news is why I hesitate.
You goat's anus, talk!
Okay. The corpse. The illegal. Someone buried it. Someone threw dust on it. Someone did all the required holy stuff.
What man would have dared? What happened? Are you absolutely sure of what you're saying?
I have no idea. Was the ground hard or dry? Yes. Was there any mark or scratch or so much as a wagon rut? No. Whoever did this, he left no clue. We were all in shock. You can't see the body anymore. There's no real burial mound, just light dust over it, but enough to clear the curse. No sign of animals or dogs or depredation. So we fell to shouting, guard against guard. We fell to blows. Each of us was the guilty one, but no one for sure. Who could be sure? We were ready for the red-hot iron of each of us, swearing to the gods, I didn't do it. I know nothing, getting nowhere. Then somebody said, better tell Creon, and we stood paralyzed, staring at the ground. We knew he was right, and it couldn't be hushed up, so here I am. We all drew lots, and lucky me. I don't want to see you. You don't want to see me, but here I am.
You know, King, it's been my feelings for a long time now that gods are mixed up in this somehow.
Don't say another word. Don't be that stupid. God's mixed up in this? You demented old man. You think that God's buried him for his good intentions? You think that God's given him a prize for good citizenship? Even though he came back meaning to burn their temples to the ground, to desecrate their laws. You think gods find gangsters like that honorable? Well, here's the simple truth, and I'll say it one time. You're wrong. Gods didn't do this. But there are men who would try. Men who don't like me. Men who murmur and fret and shake under my government. Men who might lead a guard or watch me astray with a bit of a bribe. Now that I'm thinking of it, that's exactly what happened. You know, money's a nasty invention, isn't it? Turns good minds to bad, evil to good, and all that. It has discovered every misdemeanor and crime known to man. I will catch whoever took this bribe will be caught. Now you, listen. I swear by Zeus himself, and yes, I still believe in Zeus. If you do not bring to me the guilty man, I will have you begging for death. I'll have you hanging by your thumbs till you confess, you greedy little peasant amateur terrorist.
Can I say something, or should I just go?
You are treading a very thin line.
Would you say it's your ears or your mind that finds me annoying?
Do you really want to be testing my mood like this?
Well, because if it's the ears, blame me, but if it's the mind, blame the man who did the deed.
You were born already battling, weren't you?
Yes, but I wasn't born to do this deed.
Yet you did. They bribed you, they took your soul.
No, it's a lie, a deadly, awful lie.
Of course you would say that. Well, produce the perpetrator, or you're guilty.
Sure, we'll find the guy, but if we don't, let's say he gets lucky. There's no way you're seeing me around here again. For now, I'll just say thank the gods I'm still alive.
Many things strange, terrible,
Clever, wondrous,
Monstrous.
marvelous,
dreadful,
awful,
And weird there are in the world.
but none more strange, terrible,
clever, uncanny,
Wondrous.
monstrous,
marvelous.
dreadful,
Awful and weird than man.
He sails across the sea in blasting winter.
He plows the inexhaustible earth year after year.
The races of birds, the tribes of beasts,
The underwater creatures all.
he drives into his net.
This clever man, he masters animals that roam the hills and puts wild horses to the yoke or mountain bulls.
He uses thought and language in the tempering of these.
He knows how to shelter from the frost and rain and how to shun disease.
He answers every question put to him.
Every question put to him but one.
To death, he has no answer.
From death, he finds no exit.
Oh yes, he is ingenious in ingenuity.
leading now to good and now to bad.
But he who honors the laws of the land.
He who keeps the justice of gods walks high in his high city.
Cityless he becomes if he takes it upon himself to do wrong.
I would not have that person at my hearth, nor share in his opinions.
Is there something supernatural going on here?
I think there is. I fear there is.
Is there something supernatural going on here? I think there is, I fear there is. Is there something supernatural going on here? I think there is, I fear there is. Is there something supernatural going on here? I think there is, I fear there is. Is there something supernatural going on here? I think there is, I fear there is. Is there something supernatural going on here?
I think there is, I fear there is.
Is there something supernatural going on here? I think there is, I fear there is. Is there something supernatural going on here? I think there is, I fear there is. Is there something supernatural going on here?
Here's Antigone. I can't deny it.
Oh, you poor, awful child. A poor, awful Oedipus. Why did they drag you like a criminal?
Surely it wasn't you who defied the king's law.
This is the one. She did it. She did the deed. Where's Creon?
Here's
Here's
Creon.
Creon.
Perfect timing.
Here's Creon, perfect for what?
Well, King, miracles do happen. I swore I wouldn't come back, but I did. It's the last thing I expected, but here I am, and pretty pleased too, because I caught her. She's the one. I caught her. She did it. She was fiddling with the grave. No casting lots this time, just my own unique and personal good luck. So there you have it. She's the one you want. Take her. Try her. Convict her. I'm off the hook.
Fiddling? What do you mean fiddling? Explain how you caught her.
She was burying him.
Are-
That's all I know.
Are you absolutely sure of what you're saying?
The corpse, the illegal. I saw her burying him. What more do you want?
No, how did you catch her? Where did you catch her? Details. I want details.
Details. Okay. You threatened me. I went back, wiped all the dust off that body, left that body bare. We sat on the hill. Was it hot? Yes. Was there putrefaction and vermiculation? Yes. Was there noon sun stink? Yes. Did I doze off? No. I did not. We kept each other awake with jibes and banter, and time went by, time went by. And the great white sun in the center of the sky, and all of a sudden, a storm blew up, a pillar of dust all the way to the sky. A wind tore the hair off the trees, and all the place was vibrating. We closed our eyes. Was it a God-sent thing? I sneaked a peek, and there she was, the child, making that weird little baby bird sound. You know how they cry when they see the nest empty? So she cried, seeing the body bare. She cried and called down curses on whoever did the deed. We rushed out and took her. She poured water onto the body with both hands, and she pours dust onto the body with both hands. 3 libations to crown the corpse. We rush out and take her. She seems unsurprised. She denies nothing. It made me sad, but also happy. Sad for her, but happy for me. Self-preservation is my natural philosophy.
You. With your head down. You're the one. You did the deed. You do not deny it?
I did the deed. I do not deny it.
Go, you're a lucky man today. Now tell me this, and no long speeches. You knew this deed to be forbidden by my decree,
Of course I did.
and yet you dare to disobey the law?
If you call that law.
I do.
Zeus does not. Justice does not. What they call law did not begin today or yesterday. When they say law, they don't mean a statute of today or yesterday. They mean the unwritten, unfaltering, unshakable ordinances of the gods that no human being can ever outrun. These laws live forever. No one knows how they were born. And you thought I transgressed them for fear of some mere mortal man's decree? No! I will die, Creon or no Creon, and death is fine. Death has no pain. To leave my mother's son lying out there unburied, that would be pain. You say this is folly. I say, who knows folly better than a fool?
Got a soul as raw as her father, doesn't she?
No sense of compromise.
Here's something to ponder. Say we have a piece of iron baked in the fire until it is super hard. I can show you how to smash it. I've seen high-spirited horses broken into tiny, tiny bits. Slaves shouldn't think big. This girl knew her act was criminal when she broke the law that I decreed. Criminal, insulting, and wrong the first time, wrong even more the second. And she boasts of it, she laughs. Surely I am not the man here, she is the man. If she gets away with this trick and walks away, I don't care if she's my sister's child. I don't care if she's closer to me than my entire family. I don't care if she's protected by Zeus himself. She will not evade doom. She nor her sister, that's right, I know they're in it together. Why didn't you fetch out that thing from that house? I just saw her now, hysterical. So the criminal mind betrays itself, does it? I hate secrets, and I hate people who try to glamorize a crime once they're caught.
What do you desire other than my death?
Nothing whatsoever.
Then can we get this over with? I take no pleasure in your words, nor you in mine. Yet what greater glory could I win than to lay my own brother in his grave? These people here would all agree with me if they weren't terrified. One-man rule has its advantages, doesn't it?
You're the only person in Thebes who sees things this way.
No, actually, they all do. You've just nailed their tongues to the floor.
You're not ashamed.
No shame in honoring one's kin.
Wasn't the other brother your kin too?
Same mother, same father.
Yet you don't mind disgracing him.
He would not call it disgrace.
Of course he would. You're honoring his enemy.
It was no slave that died, it was his brother.
One a criminal, the other a defender of our land.
Death needs to have death's laws obeyed.
Same laws for good and evil. Patriot and traitor.
Who knows how those definitions work down there?
Enemy is always enemy, alive or dead.
I am someone born to share in love, not in hatred.
Then fine, go down below and lavish your love on the dead. I will not be bested by a woman.
Here's the lady, she seems to be
Weeping.
flushed and troubled.
You've been snaking around my house, sucking me dry, planning ruin and subversion of the two of you. Now come clean and tell me, you assisted her in this burial, did you not? Or will you claim ignorance?
I did the deed. I share the blame. Just ask her.
No! Justice forbids this. You did nothing. You shared nothing.
I'm not ashamed to help you in your trouble.
Who did the deed? The actual deed. Ask Hades. Ask the dead below. I don't like this sudden sympathy of yours. It's all words.
Please, sister, do not exclude me from the right to die with you and share our brother's requiem.
Leave my death alone. You did not lay a hand in this. You cannot make it yours. For me to die is altogether adequate.
I'll be so lonely.
Like Creon, then, he's your main concern.
Why are you so nasty? How does it help you?
Right, it doesn't help. I simply pain myself to mock you.
But can I not help you somehow?
Save yourself. I do not grudge you this.
Oh no, am I to miss out on your destiny?
You chose life. I chose death.
But I told you and told you and told you not you are equally at fault.
Take heart and live, is meaning. My soul died long ago so that I might serve the dead.
They're crazy, the both of them. Look, this one that way since she was a little one.
It's true, King. Bad conditions make people lose their minds.
As you did when you chose the side of a criminal.
How could I go on in life without her?
Don't speak of her, she is no more.
And will you execute your own son's bride?
Oh, he'll find other ruts to plow.
He won't find anyone else like her.
To think of that marriage makes me sick.
Dearest Haman, how your father disregards you.
No more talk of beds, it's disgusting.
You really will take her away from him.
It is death who will do the taking.
So it's settled then. Antigone dies.
We both knew that. Don't waste my time. Take them inside and tie them up. No more free-running women. Even the boldest of them will take to their heels if they see death nearby.
Blessed be they whose lives do not taste of evil. But if some god shakes your house, ruin arrives.
Ruin does not leave.
It comes tolling over the generations.
It comes rolling the black night silt up from the ocean floor, and all your thrashed coast grown.
Follow us.
One last truth from the house of madness is stretching up the light. The hex of death is molding it down. Archives of frequency falling upon this house. Death and birth, birth and death, there's no end to it. From God is highway on. One last truth.
Zeus, you win.
You always win.
The whole oxygen of power belongs to you.
Sleep cannot seize it.
Time does not tire it.
Your Mount Olympus glows like one white stone upon this law.
Nothing vast enters the lives of mortals without ruin.
Without ruin. Without ruin.
But of course there's hope. Look, here comes hope, wandering in to tickle your feet. Then you notice the souls are on fire. A wise word. If you find you're confusing evil with good, some god is heading you down the high road to ruin. Watch out. Here's Haman, your youngest son. Does he come in pain and rage, cheating of his future bride?
So you've heard the verdict on your future bride. Are you enraged against your father, child, or are we still friends?
Father, I'm yours. I trust your judgment. No marriage could outweigh this.
Good attitude, son. Good heart in your chest. Fathers need sons to back them up. This is why men beget sons. To harm their enemies and honor their friends. Some children are useless. Some are just trouble. And who would disagree? This makes people laugh at the father. A fact of life I'll say to you, and I'll say it one time. When you lay yourself under a pleasure female, the pleasure goes cold soon enough. She's an open wound in your house and life. She's an enemy. Spit her out. You know, she disobeyed me publicly, flagrantly, alone, out of all the city. I will not be made out to be a liar. I'll put her to death. If I nourish disorder in my own household, how then control those outside of it? A man who runs his household right can run a government. He's staunch in war, loyal in action. On the other hand, someone who flouts the law or seeks to give direction to its ruler, him I do not praise. If a city sets up a man to rule it, I say that man must be obeyed. In simple things, in just things, and opposite of these. Anarchy! What greater evil? It destroys houses and cities and battle plans. Obedience saves lives. Obedience must be protected. And never, never, never let ourselves be bested by a woman.
Well, that was all pretty plausible. Or so it seemed to me.
Father, The gods were minds in men as the most precious equipment they have. Yet I do not know how to say you were wrong. Who knows, it might all turn out fine, but surely my job is to keep a close watch on everything people do or say or want to complain about. Why you dried out your displeasure what people say? Well, you wouldn't want to hear the kind of things they say, but I can listen from the shadows. This girl throughout the town, there is grief. They call her most wonderful, most glorious deeds, most terrible of death, they say. She only chose to keep her brother's body from the raw flesh-eating dogs, to keep it from the birds, this sort of dog. I don't know from the shadows, but nothing is more precious to me than your happiness, father. For a father to be proud of his son, a son proud of his father, what could be better? But please don't be so absolutely single-minded. Whoever imagines alone is the one who can think or speak or feel. That man is the empty page. There's nothing shameful in being a person able to learn. Flexible, not rigid. Well, you've seen trees bend in a storm. That's how they save their branches. The stubborn ones get ripped out by the roots. In sailing, too, if you hold your sheets too taut, you capsize the boat. Let go your anger, father. Give a bit. I'm young, yes, but I'm pretty sure of this. No single human being has perfect knowledge. We would all be wise now and then to take advice.
Well, King, he hit the nail on the head a couple times there. You could learn something from him.
And you from him.
Me at my age. Go to school and get wisdom from this stripling.
You will learn nothing unjust.
Nothing unjust? To honor anarchy?
I do not honor anarchy.
Isn't that girl tainted with that malady?
But the whole city of Thebes says otherwise.
Should Thebes prescribe to me how I should rule?
Listen to yourself. You sound like a boy dictator.
Whom else should the government depend on?
No single city belongs to a single man.
Surely a city belongs to its ruler!
Why not find a desert and rule alone?
This woman seems to be the boy's toy.
If you are the woman, it's you I care for.
O shameless thou utter miscreant, to prosecute thine own father.
Yes, for I see you doing wrong.
Wrong to respect thine own prerogatives?
You don't respect. You trample on the prerogatives of the gods.
O polluted, O dastard nature, O subject to a woman.
But not subject to injustice.
All thy words plead for her.
And for you, and for me, and the gods below.
You will never marry her this side of the grave.
If she'll die, and take another with her.
Doth thy boldness push thee to threats?
Threats, what threats? I merely point out your judgment is bad.
Thou shalt rule the day of thy witless teaching.
If you weren't my father, I'd say you'd lost your mind.
Seek not to tickle me, woman's chattel.
You talk and never listen.
Say'st thou so well? Well, now I say, thou shalt revile me to thy cost. Bring out that loathed thing. Let her die hard against her bridegroom. Now, this very instant, before his eyes.
Never, no, never. If I am near, she will not die, and you will never see my face again, ever. Rage on, madman.
Well, he's gone in anger.
And Jane, a young man like that, who knows what he'll do?
Let him go. Big man. I have executions to perform. 2 of them.
You mean to kill both girls?
No, you're right. Just the meddlesome one.
How will you do it?
I'll find her a desert. Somewhere in the neighborhood. And I'll bury her alive. With a bit of food. Just enough to avoid pollution. Sort of sacred technicality. No doubt, if she prays it hard enough, the god of death will save her life. Or else she'll learn she picked the wrong gods.
Eros, no one can find you. Eros, you clamped down on every living thing. On a girl's cheek, on oceans, on wild fields. Not even
while I'm having my own doubts about the laws of the land, and I can no longer restrain a stream of tears. When I see Antigone here passing to the room where we all go in the end.
Look at me, people. I go my last road. I see my last light. Death, who gathers all of us in the end, is gathering me. But I'm still alive. No bridal song, no bridal chamber. Yet I will lie as a bride in the bed of the river of death while I'm still alive.
Oh yes, but won't you in glory? Won't you be praised? It's not as if you're dying of disease or war. You chose to live autonomous, and so you die. The only one of mortals to go down to death alive.
What about Naomi? I heard she had a living death like me, encased in rock, where a mountain grew over her like ivy, and rain and snow ran down her cheeks. She was laid to bed like me by some divinity.
But Niobe was a god. Born of gods.
We are mortal.
Born of mortals. And yet, what a great thing to share your story with divinity, while you live and while you die.
Are you mockers of me? You grabbing old men? Are you laughers at me, though I'm not yet gone? Oh, springs of the rivers of Thebes. Oh, reaches of the plains of Thebes. Bear me witness. No one sheds a tear for me as I go to my strange new grave. No one knows what kind of laws they are that sentence me, nor what kind of tomb it is I go to. I'm a strange, new, kind of in-between thing, aren't I? Not at home with the living nor with the dead.
You're too extreme. You
Reckless girl! You can't simply kick justice out of your way.
And given your father's history,
I'd say you're paying off his debts.
There, you touch the deepest, bitterest place in me. Pity for my father, all that plowing in the dark. And the brilliant house of Labco's gone down with it. Father, mother, son, it all went wrong. For what kind of badness was I born? A curse unwed, alien, foreign, strange. I'm nowhere at home on this earth. I go to them now. A final family reunion. Oh, my brother, how you just spoil me by your death.
Piety is nice, but authority is authority. You have in you a kind of absolute, exclusive, self-regarding rage. It has destroyed you.
Unwept, unwed, unloved I go. Thrown is there before me. The light of this world is not for my eyes any longer. Who will lament me?
If people could
No one will lament me.
If people could lament their death up until the day they died, they'd never stop. Take her away. Take her quickly. I've shown you how to imprison her in stone. It's up to her to live or die as she sees fit. We are clean of this girl. Her earthly privileges are revoked.
Don't.
Follow us.
I lift you and walk you and made you lovely, and this is my reward. People ask what I have done for a husband or a child.
My answer is no, I would not.
People ask what law requires this. I say a husband or a child can be replaced.
But who can rob me, a new brother?
This is the law I honor for
All else is Creon, all the criminal.
He says I was to follow
Strange, reckless things.
Oh, beloved brother,
He's taking me away.
I never had a Bible says, I never had a Bible song. I never had felt the love of children.
I'm alone on my inside.
And I go down to death, though I am still alive. What kind of justice is this? Why listen to God? Why hope for allies? They call my
mighty, it's mighty!
I say it's fine. If the gods really do approve of this,
I'll recognize my errors soon enough.
But if these men here are the criminals,
They suffer exactly what they are doing to me!
oh please, oh God, oh look, I go.
Oh, you valiant men of thieves!
I am the last in a line of kings.
Look at what is happening to me, and look at the men who are doing it!
I was caught
In an act of perfect piety!
I'll give you 3 examples of people who lost access to the light. First, the girl called Danae. They walled her up in a room, put a yoke on her. Yet she was precious.
You know the story.
Economist of Zeus's gold in a sexual shower. What does this tell us? Fate,
Whatever that is.
is a strange,
Terrible.
Clever. Uncanny.
wondrous,
Monstrous.
Marvelous. Dreadful.
awful.
Weird.
Power. Example 2. Lycurgus. An angry child who grew up to be an angry king. And for venting his rage on the god Dionysus.
He was confined in a room of rock.
Where he came to know the god intimately. And the strange mad flower of his mind dripped in the dark. Third example. The woman who blinded her sons.
With a shuttlecock.
And the blood ran down her hands. Ruin ran down.
Now it's true she was born of Boreas and could outrace the wind. But fate came down on her too in the end. Fate
Whatever that is. Some sort of god.
comes down on everyone.
In the end.
Hail, you kings of thieves. We come. 2 people seeing as one. It's a blind man's way.
What's up, Teresa's?
I tell you, but you must do what the seer says.
I've followed your advice before.
And so you've kept the city going straight.
Indeed, I owe you much.
You're standing on a razor's edge.
Why? I suddenly feel cold.
Listen then, listen and learn.
Come with me.
Follow us.
the altars, but the fire will light. The embers sputter. The fat slice off the bones. The boy has described it all to me. He is my guide as I'm guide to others. Now, you know, Creon, the feeling of the sign itself is a sign. And surely these signs failed. And surely the cause is you. You brought this sickness.
altars are defied. Of course, the gods have turned away from us. Of course, the birds are shrieking unintelligible things. Their mouths are gorged with guts and blood. My child, take heed. To err is human, but to persist in error is imprudent, unlucky, and just stupid. Yield, Creon. That child's rot, thou son of Oedipus. The boy is dead. Stop killing him. I mean you well. I gave you good advice. Take it.
You're a nice old man, Tiresias, but all you seers are just mediocre marksmen, firing arrows at men like me. I've been a victim of your art prophecy before, been bought and sold and trafficked by your tribe. So fine, run your scam, take your profit. But you will not put that body in the grave. I don't care if the very eagles of Zeus come and rip its flesh off and carry it to the throne of God. Let me repeat. You will not put that body in the grave. No, we don't fear pollution. The gods can't be polluted by human beings. I know this for a fact. But human beings are susceptible, aren't they, dear old Tiresias, to the profit motive? Especially the clever ones.
Alas, is anyone listening? Does anyone get it?
Get what?
Good judgment. Good judgment. Nothing is more important.
Yes, and bad judgment can do great harm.
You're rotten with it, Creon. You're full of this disease.
I'm in no mood to trade sarcasm with a seer.
And yet you denounce my profession.
Your profession, you entrepreneurs.
Why, you're tired of scrub whatever you want without shame.
Those are guys who are speaking to your king.
Oh, I too. Who put you in this kingship? Who helped you save the city?
Prophet or not, you're awfully fond of injustice.
You will provoke me to say things I keep in the dark of my heart.
Say it! Forget prophet!
Do you really think I've been profiting up to now?
Just realize that my mind cannot be bought.
Well, then recognize this, Creon. Not many revolutions of the sun from this day you shall have paid the price. A corpse for a corpse. For you housed the living soul beneath the ground below and held the dead man here without his grateful rights. It is so wrong. It is so wrong. The dead do not belong to you, nor to the gods above. You violate these rules. There are vengeance lying in wait for you now. Watch out. Watch out, I say, and think again. Whether I am someone who have been paid to say this. Not long now, there will be wailing of women and wailing of men. There will be tumults of cities and hatred against you. Dogs and birds and body parts and stench. You can't do that. These are the arrows I shoot against you, like an archer. Yes, because you grieve me, because my anger, and my arrows fly true. Take me home. Give many strangers from younger men and find a gentler tongue, better attitude.
Well, that was harsh. But I've been around a long time now, and I have to say,
Historically,
his prophecies are never false.
I know, I'm shaking. On the one hand, to give it now would be terrible, but equally terrible would be steadfast and be ruined.
Take advice.
Tell me, set the girl free.
Bury the boy.
You really think I should just give in?
Quick. Catastrophe can outrun fools.
It's hard, but yes, I must.
Quick. Go yourself. Go now.
I go. Take your axes, one and all. Head for the high ground over there. I've changed my mind about the girl. It was I who imprisoned her. I shall set her free. I'm beginning to suspect that we must live our lives to the end, in accordance with the old established laws.
Oh God of 1,000 names.
You who are there,
Begotten of thunder.
moving in mystery.
Visible in fire. Going where rivers go. Green in the vine shadow.
You who are there, hear our cry. Make us well. O Bacchus, purify us.
Set the city right. You who organize the fire-breathing stars to dance and supervise the voices at the night.
Manager of madness, you who are there, show yourself.
Hear our cry. Grant us light.
Citizen,
person down at any given moment. Fortunate, unfortunate, no seer can see what's next. Creon I once thought was an enviable man, for he saved this land of Cadmos from its enemies. He got his hands on monarchy. He sailed it straight and furrows of children flourished around him. Now all that's gone. When joy betrays you, I do not count your life alive. A corpse is more alive. Be as rich as you like, be a despot absolute. If your happiness goes, I wouldn't buy you for a shadow of smoke.
You're the messenger.
What's your message?
They're dead.
Who's dead?
Haman's dead.
By whose hand?
A hand very like his own for red as his father.
Okay, Tiresias.
You won that round.
Game's not over.
You're
You're
right.
right. Here's Eurydice, wife of Creon.
What's she up to?
Oh, people, did I overhear something? I was just going out. I was just at the door. I was going to offer prayers to Athena, just opening the door, and I thought I heard something. A voice like sorrow, and I fell back. I fainted. I was struck with fear. Whatever the news is, do tell me. Sorrow and I are not strangers.
Oh, beloved queen. I was there, I will speak. I will leave nothing out. Why soften the tale and be called a liar later? I want to be a husband as kind, to the edge of the plain, where it lay the doctrine parts of him Polynices. We prayed the gods to hold back their anger. We washed him and burnt him on fresh-cut branches. We piled high a mound, and then we left to go to the tomb of the girl, the bride of death. And we seal our ways off when we hear a scream from that unholy place. Someone comes running to us, but Creon won't stop. The scream is all around us now. He quickens and lets out a scream to pierce your heart. Oh no, he says. Am I the prophet now? Could there be a road darker than this road I'm on? Is it my own son crying out? Go quicker, you people, drag the rocks back and go in. Do the gods deceive me? Or is it heaven's voice I hear? Poor hopeless king. So we do what he says. And against the back wall, we see her hung by the neck on a strand of silk. The boy flings himself on her body, wailing. Creon sees him and runs in with a cry. Oh, my darling, what have you done? Are you mad? Are you lost? Oh, child, come away. Come out, I beg you. Then the boy, with eyes like mud, spat on his father's face. He said not a word and drew his sword and leapt. Creon ran out. The boy missed. Then with black rage at himself, he tensed his body for the sword and drove it all the way up to the land. Poor boy was still alive. He folded himself around the ground and breathed a thread of red blood onto her white cheek. So he lay, a corpse on a corpse, and his bridal consummation was in the house of death. What does this teach us? Bad judgment. Bad judgment is the worst thing in the world a man can have.
What do you make of that? She left without a word.
I too am surprised. But I nourished the hope that she felt it unsuitable to grieve in public, and went inside to send the women of the house wailing. She's such a sensitive person.
Maybe so. Maybe so. But it's a very heavy silence.
I don't like heavy silence.
Let's go up and see. You're right. to give descendants.
Follow us.
Here's Creon, dragging his
what?
No one else did this. He did this.
Here's what I've done. It was my heart-killing mind, my deadly going wrongs. Well, look, the killers and the killed are all in one family. Oh, my child too soon dead. Oh, this sacrilege that I called public policy. Alas, my child murdered by my folly.
You're late to learn what's right, aren't you?
Late to learn, oh yes I am. Late, too late, oh then. Some god has slammed down on me with all his weight. Some god has shook me in savage direction. Alas for the joy of my life trampled underfoot. Alas for us all going dark.
O king, you have evils in hand. You have evils in store. Soon you will see grief in the house.
What now? What worse?
Your wife is dead. The mother of this one. Her wounds are recent.
Oh, filth of death that has come to clean me out. Oh, piling up of death that has come to reckon me. You take a man already broken and you grind him to dust. Tell me your news, messenger, about the woman, the blood, the boy.
See for yourself. She is here.
Oh, so she is. So they are. My ruin now complete. My son in my arms, my wife laid out before me. Oh, beloved, you were her son. You were his mother. Oh, beloveds.
Before the end, before undoing her eyes to the dark, she called one last time to this child, and then she cast you. Assassin of your own child, she said.
Oh yes, of course she did. The horror of it crawls all over me. Will someone strike me dead, please? I am utterly blended with pain.
She blamed you for all of it.
Then what?
Stabbed herself in the liver.
Oh yes. No one else is to blame. I killed you, oh beloved. Will someone take Creon away? He exists no more than someone who does not exist.
Best to be brief.
when evil is all around your feet.
Let it come. Let my end come.
That's the
I cannot
future.
dare to look on another day of life.
That is the future.
This is the present.
You deal with the present.
My only prayer is to die.
Then don't pray at all.
You don't get to run this.
Take Creon away, please. Take Creon away. I killed you. I killed you, oh dear ones. Never intending to. Where can I look? Where can I turn? Everything I touch goes wrong. I have been plunged a fate no one could bear.
I stand alone, the blood of my sister on my hands. I am the last of Oedipus's bloodline. Creon has gone mad with grief. He has no more children. My brothers had no heirs. I am the despicable second daughter of the cursed king. I am not fit to rule. I wish more than anything to join my family in Hades, but perhaps like Creon, I deserve to live with my guilt. I doubt they would even accept me after what I've done to dishonor them. Oh, why did I not listen to Antigone? She was wise and brave, but I was scared. Is that not understandable? Is that not reasonable? Was I so wrong to respect the word of the king? Guess I'll never truly know. I look to the future and I see nothing. I see only myself, a coward, drowning in guilt and grief. Antigone, dear sister, if only you had listened. Your courage, so inspiring to me as a child, was your downfall as I feared. Although, maybe the fault is not yours to carry. Perhaps if I had been stronger, I could have shared your fate. I would not be alone now if I had gone with you to bury our brother. Is this what you desire? I wish only that you would let me share your dying. Now I shall pay for what I have done. I shall forever bear this burden, if I am strong enough to. I want to be brave like my sister, but how? How do I make things right? How do I fix what is broken? Do I join my family of my own accord? Or stay and see where my life brings me next? I can't be sure that happiness awaits me. Do I want to take that risk? My road diverges here. And now I have to choose which path to follow. Please, please, please advise me.
The first rule of a happy life.
Wisdom. Second rule.
Don't work against the gods.
Be big men. Your big words.
Pay a big price for that. But in the end, you learn wisdom too. Even you.